So I want you to put a bubble around this. This is the formula. The amount of change over the original amount. So we're gonna write that again on here before we do this. We're gonna write amount of change over original amount. So how do we find the amount of change? Well, what am I gonna subtract? Grace increased her babysitting fees from $8 an hour to $10.50 an hour. What is the percent increase in her fees? So I take 1050 minus 8, that's the change, over, what's the original amount? What's her original amount? $8. So then 1050 minus 8 would be what? 250 over, I'm just gonna make it 8. So then on my calculator, I'm going to take $2.50 divided by 8, and I get 0.3125. But we need to round it and change it to a percent, move it over twice, so 31.25%. So we would round it to 31%. A is my answer. You do not have to rewrite amount of change over original amount for the next problem, but you do need to show these next steps. So go ahead and on your own, try number 2. Stand up when you're finished. Disappointed to find out her favorite jeans had, and I want you guys boxing that, increased in price from $45 a pair to $57 per pair. What is the percent increase? So I have to take my change, my $57 minus $45 over my original amount, which was 45. So in my calculator, I am doing 57 minus 45 is $12 over $45. So then I take 12 divided by 45, 0.26 repeated, which I'm gonna go over one more because I have to round it to the nearest percent. 1, 2, so I have 26.6, which is rounded up to about 27%. Sit down if you got 27% and showed all your work.
47.
Oh, instead of 57, you put 47? Yeah. Try number 3. Stand up when you're done. What? Okay, if you guys noticed, I was doing it as you were doing it. I read it to myself and I boxed up that it says increased from $33 to $37.50. What is percent increase? I underlined percent increase. I did my change, my greater minus my lesser over my original amount, which $4.50 over 33. Which then I put in my calculator and I got 0.1363, which my decimal would be 13.6. If you round that correctly, it should be rounded to what? Is that an option? So they really don't have anything correct. So I want you to box up the correct answer. Don't just circle 13. Now, on a standardized test, yeah, go with the one that they might have there. However, on something like this, I'm gonna give you the correct answer. Go ahead and turn page for 17, which is the percent decrease. You basically do it the same way. So the percent decrease is how much a quantity, I'm gonna decreases. Compared to the original. Come on. So Jocelyn canned 87 jars of applesauce last week. This week she canned 62 jars. What is the percent decrease of the of jars canned? Step 1 is to find the amount of change. When we find the amount of change, what are we doing? What are we doing? Subtracting. So the amount of change is the greater value minus, what do you guys think? What's the other one gonna say? Lesser, yeah, same thing as. So our greater value was 87 jars minus our lesser value, which was 62 jars. Then 87 minus or 62 is 25. That is our change. So to find the percent decrease, round to the nearest percent, or here we're talking about decrease. It is the same formula. Percent change equals, oh, thank you. Amount of change over original amount. So the amount of change was this right here, which was 25. Our original amount was 87. Put that in our calculator and you get 0.287. 28.7, but we need to write it as a percent and we round it to 29%. This is the exact same thing, isn't it? The only thing you have to be careful about is when you're reading the story problems is whether it says decrease or increase. Belinda's dog had a litter of puppies. She is selling puppies for $200 each. After 2 weeks, Belinda has 3 puppies left, so she decided to reduce the sale price to $150 each. What is the percent decrease? So we're still gonna write, it's amount of change, we're gonna write this one time. Over original amount. So then the amount of change would be 200 minus 150. So even though that's what we started with, you just write 200 minus 150 over what's my original amount? 200 equals 50 over 200. 50 divided by 200 is 0.25. Then we move the decimal place to the right and it is 25%. You do not need to rewrite the formula, but you do need to try number 2, showing the other 2 steps. So you should have had 64 minus 50 over, cause Magnolia High School football team had 64 members. Before the first game, the coach must decrease. Are you guys putting boxes around those things? 250 members, what is the percent decrease? So 64 minus 50 over my original amount, which was 64. 64 minus 50 is 14. Then in my calculator, I take 14 divided by 64, and you get 0.21875. Move your decimal 2 places to the right, to 21.87, so we round to the nearest percent. It rounds to 22%. If you don't have it, make sure you have it. Go ahead and sit down, and we will do the last one. You guys tried to beat me on the last one. The local grocery store sells a 4-pound bag of oranges for $3.99. The same bags of oranges are on sale. Okay, so if it's a sale, I know it's a decrease. For $3.25. What is the percent decrease from the original price? Original amount was $3.99 minus my new sales price over my original amount. You need to make sure you have it set up like this. So it is 74 cents divided by $3.99. And I get 0.1854, and it keeps going, but I'm going to move my decimal place. So it's 18.5, which is rounded to 19%. Sit down if you got 19%, and showed all your work. So even though we're using a calculator, you're still needing to show your work. You go ahead and stop it.